What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got another Transformer to look at. We need to have a look at Raider Triggerhappy, and I believe this is another debut card, as in we've never had a Triggerhappy before. It has been revealed by the lovely folks over at teamcovenant.com. They've done a whole article, they've made a deck list, I'll link that one in the description. But you know how we roll here. Give them some love, ladies and gentlemen. Give these guys some love because, well, they're helping promote the game and chuck it out to people who might not see the game. We need this. We need as many people pushing the game as we can. Cheers, Team Covenant. So, Raider Triggerhappy then. It's an 8 cost. And other than attack, it's roughly what we would expect. Health of 12 is pretty much what we want from an 8 cost. Defense of 2 is pretty much what we want from an 8 cost. Attack of 2 or 3 is not what we want from an 8 cost. But here's the thing. We don't really care. Because Raider Triggerhappy is all about piercing. Let's have a look, shall we? Starting off in bot mode, it's got Pierce 4. Just flat out, no issues, straight off the bat. Don't worry about it. Don't need to do anything else. Here you go. Pierce 4. Pierce 4 is good, ladies and gentlemen. Pierce 4 guarantees that you do a minimum of 4 damage while attacking, with a rather giant caveat, and it is a giant caveat. Your Pierce cannot be higher than your attack, or if it is, it doesn't do anything. So if we start off with a basics of Triggerhappy here, we've got an attack of 2, Pierce 4. So you're not actually guaranteeing 4 damage here, you're guaranteeing 2. Well, that's not ideal. So the first thing we need to do for Raider Triggerhappy here is we need to boost the attack. Because as it is, we are not getting full value from Raider Triggerhappy. Now this could be as simple as just adding in some orange cards. Just adding in some cards with orange icons, and if we can flip 2 orange icons while attacking, then the attack will basically calculate with an attack of 4 and a Pierce of 4. So you get Pierce 4. That is good, ladies and gentlemen. Life is grand. But there are other things we can do here, and it really depends on upgrades. Obviously, one of the things I'm thinking straight off the bat here is Grenade Launcher. Now, Grenade Launcher is basically the best way to just out and out up your attack. Because it gives you +4 attack, that's pretty good. Now, here's the thing. If we pop a Grenade Launcher onto Triggerhappy, we then have the opposite problem. All of a sudden, our Pierce is higher than our attack, and we need to up our Pierce. Well, thank goodness, and the design team for the Transformers trading card game, that we are getting black icon cards. I know, right? Black icon cards mean we don't have to worry too much. You can play something like Device Virus. You don't have to. It's just an example of a black icon card. And if you can hit a couple of black icons, then you'll have attack 6. And you'll have Pierce 6. Here's the thing though, why would I suggest Grenade Launcher when that falls off when you attack? Wouldn't it be better to just go for something that gives you +2 attack? Maybe. But this is a point in the video where I introduce you to the alt mode skill of Raider Triggerhappy. When you flip to this mode, return a weapon from your scrap pile to your hand. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, basically guarantees that you can have the weapon you want every turn. Because you can flip into alt mode before you play your upgrade for the turn. Now admittedly, if you then want to attack with Raider Triggerhappy with the Pierce, you will have to then find a way to flip it back, whether that's using something like rapid conversion or some other way to do so. It can be a little bit awkward. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But the point is, you can get it back really nicely here. The alt mode skill will recover those weapons. And that's really good. But the best thing about this skill, and I've explained this in a few videos, when you're playing a card in the Transformers trading card game, you end up in a weird position. Because you draw one card per turn, and then on your turn you flip at least 2 battle cards while attacking, and then it goes to your opponent's turn and you flip at least 2 battle cards while defending. Now, you can draw extra and flip extra and all of that, but that basically means that 1 in 5 cards will actually be drawn, ignoring your opening hand, and 4 in 5 cards will be flipped. Which is why we ended up with green icon cards in Wave 2, so that you could make sure you had a way to guarantee it. So, something like sparring gear, for instance, not the best tough available, but it is tough with a green icon, so you can always make sure you get it, rather than playing with a tougher card, think something like evasive maneuvers, which you might never actually draw into. Well, here, either you draw into it, yay! Or you flip it while attacking or defending, and then you recover it using this, yay! And that's really cool. But it opens up a whole bunch of other options here. It means you can play something like Energon Axe. Now, Energon Axe is a rather phenomenal card that gives you Pierce 2 and +3 attack. Now, to add on with the maths here, that would leave you with Pierce 6, attack of 5. So it's only guaranteeing 5 damage, but if you can flip a single orange icon while attacking, and in a mixed deck you should be flipping 1 orange icon, then you're guaranteeing 6 damage. And the great thing about guaranteeing 6 damage is that you don't need to worry about really filling your deck with exclusively orange cards and leaving out some cards that you'd rather play, but they're blue. And it means that you don't need to worry too much about boosting your attack in other ways. You can accept that you're getting 6 damage a turn, and you can focus your resources elsewhere. The big downside of Energon Axe, it can only be attached to a damaged character. Well, that's fine, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't attach it if you're not damaged, and then when you're damaged, you recover it from the scrap pile with Raider Triggerhappy, and off you go. And although on the face of it, it might look like, I don't need green icons if I've got this, something like Scoundrel's Blaster, which again is one of those cards that you sometimes want, sometimes don't, +2 attack, Pierce 2 is good. It does fit with a card, but remember, you're still then going to be on Pierce 6, attack 4. You will need 2 orange icons or some other way to increase your attack by 2. But you only get the extra Pierce when you're attacking an Autobot, so it seems like the kind of card you'd want to recover when it's necessary. Thing is, it's got a green icon. But then again, if you can get this back using Triggerhappy, then you can use your green icon for something else, because remember, you can only get back 1 green battle icon after each battle, so it might be best to leave this elsewhere. I still think the best use for this is either something like Grenade Launcher that falls off at the end of the turn, so you need to keep getting it back. Another example of this would be Power Punch, which gives you Bolt 3 but falls off at the end of your turn. Incidentally, you will need a bit more of an orange deck to be playing this, but then again, you can boost your Pierce and do the orange, and that's lovely. And then even if you come across a really big defender, you'll still guarantee that 4 damage, and that's pretty nice. Or something like Energon Axe, where you really do need it at a specific time. Of course, you're a range character here, so one thing you could do is play around with Armed Hovercraft, which is a weapon, and it only boosts your attack by 1. But when you put it on a ranged character, you do 1 damage to each enemy. So you can essentially keep recovering these from the scrap pile, so that you can keep attaching them and keep getting that cheeky damage rolling around as you like. Not saying you have to. I'm saying it's a bit of an option. If you are doing that, I would recommend combining it with marksmanship, just to really complete the cheeky damageness. If you've got a ranged character out, you get to do 2 damage to an enemy in bot mode. So that could be kind of nice. And being a plane, you got all kinds of cool stuff. You got Crash Landing, now that is a utility, not a weapon. But if it's KO'd, you do damage equal to your attack total to a tapped enemy. Could be fun. Although really you need to boost your attack a fair bit more before you go playing around with this too much. Though it is an option. And I'm not saying it's the best use for it, but one other thing I want to mention just before we finish here. You could use this for really specific upgrades like Starscream, for instance. And you could use this, I mean, it doesn't have to be Decepticon King. That is generally regarded as the best Starscream, but it doesn't have to be. And you could use this to get Null Ray of Starscream, which is a weapon, and be able to find it more easily, cycle it more easily, etc. Although if you do want to do that, prepare to be a little bit sad, because these two characters will add up to 21 stars, which means you'll want a 4-star Starscream, and we were, in the recent starter set, gifted with a 5-star Starscream, which is just a little bit too much. Hey-ho. This is a nice little plane. Now, it is an 8 cost, so there are plenty of arguments for just using something like Thundercracker instead. There are other planes that we can use for 8 stars, which we might prefer. But if you want to get some Pierce going, and you want to be able to recover weapons, this might be the way to go, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. That's what I think about this, but I'd like to know what you think about this. So please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, check out Team Covenant, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about games. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.